religious tourism push sounds very interesting. I believe apart from an airport, a helipad, there are libraries that are coming up, there are research centers that are coming up, there are theatres that are planned. But the Sri Ram temple itself, what's the pace of work at the Sri Ram temple? Because what we were told when we were there last year, when workers begin work, they take off their chappals and their shoes, they say Jai Shri Ram, then they start working and they say this is a yajna, they're participating in it, whether it's the project engineer or even the worker who's lifting those rocks in those cranes and putting them there. Pooja.
Gaurav, any construction worker or supervisor or a bureaucrat or anyone associated with the construction of this temple knows fairly well that they are part of history. And history that will be written not just in books but will be remembered as well by generations, because this generation has lived on the stories, on the anecdotes of previous generations about the street fights, about the legal fights, about the controversy, about the firing on car sevaks in Uttar Pradesh, and that during the Mulayam Singh Yadav government in the early 90s. So they have also grown up knowing that for several years in a country like India, of a birthplace of Lord Ram, there had to be a fight that took so many years, hundreds of years, and that was also done at least till recently as democratically as possible, which was via the institution of the court. And finally, it was after the court intervention and finally the court verdict that the temple construction has started. So there is a lot of pride in the manner in which it has finally happened. And now that they are part of this, you're correct, many of the construction workers ensure that, they, at least as close they are to the sanctum sanctorum, they take their shoes off, because it is part of faith. It is not just a temple, it is the temple that many Hindus have fought for. Yes. And remember what has happened with the construction of the Ram temple is it has given this boost to other temples. We are talking about Mathura now. We are talking about other religious sites where there is a controversy about what had happened in past few centuries, and is it time to fight for those temples as well. So it's not just about one temple, it's about also a fight that has now picked up, both politically, of course, it has been used, but also as a social religious issue. Nevertheless, today I can tell you that the temple construction has started. It's halfway, but Prime Minister Modi wants to ensure that when he comes, remember Gaurav, his inspection physically, personally means you can't just put it on off track. Okay. You have to show that it's doing as good quality as possible. The temple is all set, and that perhaps is the boost that PM Modi's visit has given, Gaurav.
Amazing. So, and I believe the temple design has also undergone certain modifications. So there is one shikhar under which there will be Ramlala, his idol. Then the first floor is where you will have the Sri Ram Darbar. The temple dimensions are now much bigger temple and much bigger temple complex that's coming up. So that will be a boost to the economy of Ayodhya, and overall the economy of the region will benefit, especially when there is a link up with Sri Ram's temple, with the Janaki temple, with other temples that are coming up in Ayodhya and in other parts of Uttar Pradesh and in neighboring Nepal.
Well, that's right, Gaurav. In fact, I trust you definitely to know much more about how the inside of the temple is being built. And I can tell you today in Ayodhya, while people wait that temple, because the temple construction has started. So in their mind, they're sorted that by the next year or next to next year, by 2024, they may have the final unveiling. And can you imagine that day for the people of Ayodhya? For people who are born and brought up here to know that they are born in the birthplace of Lord Ram. So with that cheer, for these people to finally have that temple exactly where it was supposed to be, where it has been mentioned in history books, where it has been mentioned in legends and historical texts that go as way back as perhaps Hinduism is. And for all of that, so I wouldn't want to, of course, interrupt while they are chanting that. And it is that belief of Ayodhya, that Prime Minister Modi's visit has got them more overjoyed. Also, let's remember, Gaurav, on the ground, it will have to give in other benefits as well.
Oh,
Temple
absolutely.
is a religious belief. People would love to have it, but it has to give Ayodhya that world-class city of employment opportunities, of work, of recognition that Ayodhya deserves. And so many countries have done it, Gaurav. In fact, even Indonesia.
Yes.